Hey guys, this is Nicole from I Explore Science. I want to share with you 3+1 reasons or ways to tell if a resource is truly aligned to the NGSS or not aligned to the NGSS. So the first one is that I see this label, I'm bringing this up because I see this label thrown around, especially as more and more states adopt these standards. More and more resources and curriculum creators are just throwing this label on, and these resources are not always aligned. So first reason, I'll keep this short, if it is not grade specific. So if you, that's Brown's in the back, if you see an assignment or a project or a unit that is not grade specific or grade band specific, then it is not NGSS aligned. You cannot have resources that are fully aligned to the NGSS that meet the standards for 6th through 8th and 9th through 12th. You can't have standards aligned to 3rd through 5th and 6th through 8th. While there is some overlap, obviously, as the same concepts are introduced and gain complexity as they move up through the grade levels, what you're learning in an earth science and high school standards is different than what you learn in middle school earth science standards. So there's no way that you can be aligned to both. Just like you can't be aligned to like a 3rd grade standard and also a 6th through 8th grade standard. So if it is not grade band specific, it is not aligned to the NGSS, or it is going to take serious revisions to align it. If the primary mode of teaching is PowerPoint and notes, not aligned to the NGSS. The NGSS is all about having students do science. So if the primary method of instruction is, I'm going to give you a PowerPoint, you're going to take some notes, and then maybe we're going to do some stations or some activities afterwards, that is very not aligned to the NGSS. Again, not saying you can't use PowerPoints, but if that is the primary mode of instruction, not aligned. If the primary mode of assessment is an exam, multiple choice, short answer, fill in the blank, true, false exams, not aligned to the NGSS. Literally, the NGSS is a set of performance expectations of things students do, whether it's analyzing data or using evidence to construct an argument, so on and so forth. You cannot assess that on a multiple choice, true, false, short answer, fill in the blank test. So the primary mode of assessment, again, not saying you can't ever ask those questions, but the primary mode of assessment is going to have to be some sort of performance task. So it could be like a formal kind of exam, but students are given data and then they have to do certain things with that data. Or students are given a project and they have to, complete these tasks in the project. Students are writing an essay, and they're, again, different tasks related to that essay. So the primary method of assessment cannot be an exam. It has to be some sort of performance task as well. And then your +1 bonus here is if it was not designed for the NGSS, if it was designed originally to align to a state standard or a different curriculum or something like that, it is very likely not aligned to the NGSS, or it is going to take some serious revisions to align it to the next generation science standards. So if you're seeing resources that were coming out 2012, 2013, right at the beginning of the NGSS, when the NGSS were released, 2014 even, and people are just slapping on that NGSS label now, again, very likely not aligned to the NGSS. Resources and units and curriculum really must be developed for these new standards because they are so drastically different than previous state standards, considering the 3 dimensions and all of that. So again, 3+1 signs if it was not grade specific, if the primary mode of instruction is PowerPoint and notes, and if the primary mode of assessment is an exam or a traditional exam, not NGSS aligned. If it was not designed specifically for the NGSS, it is very likely not truly aligned to the standards. Again, someone can say, I did an activity about topographic maps. It's great for middle school. It's aligned to the NGSS. Not so much when the only relatable standard is a 4th grade standard. So those are the 3+1 takeaways of how you can tell if something is aligned to the NGSS or not aligned to the NGSS. I just wanted to share that with you because I've been seeing just this label thrown around everywhere. Actually, Aaron Sadler had a really great blog post. If you're not familiar, go check out Sadler Science. I'll link to it in the comments about if you're just shifting to the NGSS. And one of the things she pointed out was you really have to be discerning about the resources you are choosing and not just accepting that label at face value. So make sure that you are checking out the resources, looking at the evidence statements, looking at the standards yourself before you are just accepting, well, they labeled it as NGSS aligned when it was not, in fact, NGSS aligned. All right, thanks for tuning in. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good Tuesday.